We're on part 4 of a series called Thinking to Win. And as I've stated over and over, when we're born to win. We have everything in us to win. But what happens is we learn about fear. We let fear intrude our life, and fear sets us up for losing or failing. But it's a learned thing, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started on part 4. So we've been talking a little bit about growing up as a kid, coming through elementary school, and getting into junior high. Now we're kind of starting to move into high school, and we've been picking up new traits along the way, new character traits, and we're beginning to carry these things with us. Just like when you learned to ride a 50 when you were a little, well, then you moved up to a 65. Now you're moving up to an 85. You're carrying some of those traits with you. And unless your influences taught you to ride differently, you're still going to kind of ride the same. So thinking is the same way. If we haven't learned how to think differently along the way and defeat and overcome, then we're going to still keep we're going to have a pattern of doing the same thing over and over. So, one of the things that we learn is about fear. And I'm really hammering in on fear because fear is the opposite of faith. Fear is the culprit for everything negative in our life. It's the culprit for destroying dreams. It's a culprit for a little bit of everything. All insecurities are fear-based. Shyness is fear-based. Arrogance is actually fear-based. Fear has destroyed more dreams, has introduced more doubt in a person's life than anything. Failure doesn't destroy dreams. Doubt and fear has destroyed many people's dreams. We shouldn't be afraid to fail, because if we're going to take risks out there, we're going to fail occasionally. That's not important. What's important is you had a faith-based culture and you weren't full of fear, so you went for it. You tried it. And so as we're growing up, we're coming through elementary school, we're taking everything on like a sponge. Again, our influences, who we're around the most, is who is influencing us. From the world, from the things we watch on TV, from social media, our parents, our family, friends. As we get into junior high, our bodies are beginning to change. We're beginning to develop some character traits. We're beginning to notice new things because we're older, right? We're beginning to notice magazines in the store. We're beginning to notice pictures on social media. We're beginning to see things on TV. And now all of a sudden, we're beginning to look at things that we've never looked at before, and a lot of it is introducing doubt and fear. Not for everybody, but all of us struggle with something. All of us have some sort of insecurity in us. Now, let me rephrase that. ThereThere's a difference between having some insecurity that surfaces every now and then, and there's from having an insecurity that dominates you. That is a fear-based character trait, and that fear-based character trait is learned. It goes against God, it goes against faith, and wherever there's fear, faith is absent. So that should be, these are the little things that I'm talking about. When you start feeling fear and doubt, whatever situation you're in, whether you're in a crowd, whether you're rolling up to the motocross gate and you're lined up against a bunch of riders and you kind of have doubt coming on, that red flag should be coming up, and you should be dominating that fear. You should be crushing it, and you crush it with knowing who you are in life. You crush it with your mettle. But if you don't know who you are, how are you going to have any mettle? Because you don't know who you are. That's what's called double-minded. Double-mindedness is when we don't really know who we are. One second we're believing what the world says about us, or what somebody says about us, or the things we whisper to ourselves, in our mind, or what Satan whispers to us, he doesn't make us do anything. He has no authority over us. But what he does have over us is the ability to plant seeds of fear and doubt in our minds, and he just sits back. We run with it because we don't know how to think. We don't know how to hold every thought captive, and we got to hold every thought captive, and we got to run it through its course. Is it a good thought? Is it a bad thought? Does it hurt me? And this is the process we begin to go through. But how do we do that if we don't know truth? How do we do that if we don't know who we are? And so as we get into high school and we're coming through junior high, these things are getting really critical, because if we're not getting a handle on this, as we get older, we start experiencing more and more pressures from life. We start experiencing all kinds of different things, and we got three enemies against us. We got ourselves, which is what we call the flesh. We got the world, what the world believes we should look like, what the world believes we should act like, what the world believes we should do or shouldn't do, and we have Satan. So we have three things, I should say, that are working against us. So how are you going to defeat and overcome if you have no metal? So I can't hammer on that enough. And everything that I'm talking about, fear is there. Fear is the general. Fear is the general. He is the highest ranking officer in Satan's army. And if he can get you to fear, if he can get you to doubt, he will kill, he will steal, and destroy all your dreams. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy, and he does it with fear. And fear will keep us from doing everything. Fear will keep us from walking in front of people. Fear will keep us from talking to people. Fear will keep us from racing motorcycles. Fear will keep us from jumping. Fear will keep us from going to the next race. Fear will keep us from wearing a certain outfit. Fear will keep us, it put fear in front of everything in life. And what happens is, with that fear, is all kinds of insecurities are manifested from it. Confidence issues. Confidence is everything. We got to have confidence in everything we're going to do. If you want to race motocross, you got to have confidence. If you want to rodeo, you have to have confidence. If you want to dance, you need to have confidence. If you want to play basketball and be good at it, you need to have confidence. In all those things, whether you're rodeoing, whether you're getting on practice bowls, whether you're roping, whether you're going to basketball practice, whether you're going to dance practice, what are you doing? You're practicing, right? Well, we have to do the same thing with our thoughts. We really don't give that much thinking. But we can be in the best cardio in the world. We can be physically fit. We can be in good shape. But if we don't have a good head game going on, if we're not exercising our mind, it doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously we have to have a balance between spirit, soul, and body. And trust me, I could use to probably get on the treadmill that I have and lay off the tacos and maybe lay off some beers. I need to be better about that. But if you could have the best body in the world, but if your thoughts aren't good and you're full of doubt and fear, you're going to be a mess. You're going to be double-minded. You ain't going to stand for anything. And you're going to let everything in this world define you, and you're going to get caught in this vortex of comparing yourself to everybody. And, when you're out in public, you can tell these types, right? When somebody walks through the door, you can just see them. You can see them looking from their toes to their hair. And there's two types of people that do that. Some people are like, man, he looks really good. But man, she looks pretty good. But the type I'm talking about is fear-based. It's like, is she better than I am? Is he better than I am? That business, that stuff sucks. You got to get rid of that. So everything negative in this world is fear-based. And we have to crush it. And that's what we're talking about in Thinking to Win. And One of the things I'm going to do in this series is I'm going to do some drawing, and we're going to start really narrowing in on the psychology part of it and what happens in our mind, what happens in the soul realm. Because everything that I'm talking about is in the soul realm. You know, our battles aren't physical. Our battles are in the spiritual realm. Our battles are in the unseen realm. Nobody can hurt you unless you let them. You can't control that. You can't control somebody from hurting you. You can't control somebody from judging you. You can't control somebody from saying something bad to you. You can't control somebody from trying to define you. You can't control what other people do. But what I'm talking about in Thinking to Win is controlling how you react to it. And you have to react to it in a way that gives you life and is not a fake security, right? Not a false sense of security, but react to it in a way that you know who you are and you're at peace. And because this world is going to be against you, and it's about reacting to things. I can't react. I can't control how my videographer that's filming me right now, which happens to be my 9-year-old son, Shaden. Good job on the camera, Shaden. I can't control how he treats me, but what I can control is how I react to it. So we really got to get an understanding of that, because these things are going to happen, and that's what I was talking about when we talked about our enemies, the 3 of them. We have so many things that are against us, and it's okay, because we have everything within us, if we know who we are, to defeat and overcome. We can do all things through Jesus Christ who strengthens us. We can do all things through He who strengthens us. And we can overcome. We can be overcomers, but in order to be overcomers, we have to have a foundation that's built on rock, not sand that blows away in every storm that comes in our life, not sand that when somebody looks at us wrong, it crushes us, not sand that if somebody defines us and hurts our feelings, we fall apart. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about developing some metal. So, thanks for hanging with us.